Oh boy. All right. So this is show number 2. And obviously we're working some kinks out. I think to the best of my knowledge in the background is Victoria Vox's The Bird Song, which is one of my favorite songs. Welcome to Live Stream of Consciousness. My name is Tom Bianchi, and I just monologued and had a 4-minute interview with Victoria before I realized that I was not live. We should be on all the sources now. Everything donated to this show goes to Victoria and what I call 24-Hour Concerts, which is a small group of folks who help me keep this concert series running. And of course, 10% goes to the Beth Israel Special Nurses Fund. As always, there goes that screen, and here comes me. How you doing? It's great to see you. And I wish you were here just a few minutes ago in my office because I had a great monologue, except that was not live on the air. I'm just going to forego it and bring up, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite people in the whole world, Victoria Vox. Say hey.
Hello.
Forgot to shut the music off again. I'm getting the hang of this new world. I'm getting the hang of this
Sorry
new
about
world.
that. I was like, where are we? It's live. Like we
it's
got
live
it.
now. Yeah.
I see ya.
Like Jack said during our sound check, we will have this thing down when COVID is over.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day in Southern California, and got my ukulele strapped on.
The whole weather thing, it's true. I haven't spent a lot of time out there. Is it just pretty much gorgeous every day?
Yeah,
it is. It shows. You look great. You guys,
Thanks.
We did a sound check before. You guys look great and sound great. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's 100 degrees and humid up here in New England, just so you know. I'm sure
we do have a heat wave on the way, so
yeah.
It's hot everywhere.
Yeah. You don't get that old school Baltimore humidity though, right?
No, and I do not miss that at all. So swimming through the air and just hot and sticky all the time.
I'm still getting over the fact that I totally went live, and like I was so proud of myself. I'm in this monologue. I'm like, hey, this is great. That's the wrong one. This is great. Oh, I'm doing great. And I'm like, oh, it's not freaking live. You idiot.
Well, I was trying to find it to share it, and I'm like, it says start event. I'm like, I think it started.
No, it didn't. I didn't.
We totally understand the pains of live streaming and, do-overs and all sorts of things.
You've always been a singer-songwriter, touring artist. At any point, have you, like, some of the good and bad things about artists is they always have like a million irons on the fire. And, but you've been a pretty focused singer-songwriter performer as long as I've known you. Like you do what you do. You do it well too for that, which is
Thanks,
a testament to say for focus and consistency. But have you ever had like side projects or other stuff, or like I'm going to build ukuleles or that kind of thing? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. I guess the times in my life when opportunities may have arose that, said like, hey, people are interested in the ukulele bag you designed. Do you want to go into the ukulele bag business? And I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Or do you want to, demo gear at NAMM for such and such company and do all this looping and
right?
But you'd have to play guitar, and then it's like, no, I don't, so I think I guess when it came down to it, I always knew that I just wanted to, make music and sing and play and travel the world, and I just wanted to, just keep doing that. And any other thing was kind of a distraction or it was a fork in the road, and you had to choose, do you stay true to what you want to do and what makes you happy, or do you follow money or a security or a job or, so I always took the risky route.
My dad always said, if you love what you do, it's not a job, right?
Until it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Dad never toured the country playing ukulele.
Yeah. Will you carry this, lug my suitcase across Europe?
Yeah. That's great.
It's
That's awesome.
backbreaking work, and luckily I only play a ukulele.
Yeah. Well, we have something in common. I've pretty much stuck to the playing bass thing my whole career as well. It's not the average singer songwriter instrument. It's singer songwriter is a world of like 70-80% guitar players and a handful of piano players, and that's about it. But it's kind of nice being you have that unique card to play pretty much anywhere you go.
Well, I think bass players are probably one of the hottest or
You
most
could stop
needed.
right there. You could stop after. I
Just
was like, why? Thank you.
I mean, who doesn't need a bass player? And
Yeah.
there's, and a great bass player is certainly hard to come by, and their bass players are always booked.
Well, that's the thing. And now I've had a lot of love-hate relationships, but folks are always like, when I was playing, I would get a lot of invitations to play in bands. It's like, that's not what I do. I'm a solo bassist. Now I have a band, but for the most part, other than a few good friends, that's not true. I guess I did sessions and stuff, but like, no, it's like so it's maybe even similar to someone saying, I have this great job for you, but you have to play guitar. It's like I have this great gig for you, but you have to play other songs, other people's songs, and play exactly what they want you to play.
Whole
That
note.
kind of thing. Yeah. Thumb,
Play the root and a whole note, or the 1 and the 5, and that's it.
thumb. Yeah. How are you holding up, being somebody that's so used to touring, so used to traveling?
I feel a little guilty, but I was talking with another musician friend this morning up in Sherman Oaks, and she was my roommate at Berkeley first semester. And I said, I think for us like homebody types that are, it's homebodies and creatives, it's kind of like it's just kind of a nice little break. And it's like, I don't have to go out. And I can get into my stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind, as much as I love traveling, it's nice to sleep in my own bed. I don't even know the last time I've ever slept in my own bed this many consecutive nights.
Right.
So, that's nice.
And I'm allowed to say you're in a steady relationship. Are you married?
I'm married.
Yeah. Okay. You're married. So like we've been crossing paths for a million years, but it's not like we ever lived in the same town at the same time. So we don't really know, we catch up, we shoot the shit. You
slept on your couch.
You slept on our couch. You slept on our couch, many of our couches. You slept on our couch in Malden when we lived in 3 different locations in Somerville. By the way, I don't know if you knew this, but Danielle and I, we have a new place.
Yes.
Yeah, we're finally settled into a place that we can call our own.
That's awesome.
Can't be evicted anymore. I've been nice. I don't want you to think I'm like a scumbag who gets evicted, but I've been evicted so many times in my life because people sell the house. Every time I've been evicted, it's always like, oh, you've been great, but you got 30 days. But no more. But yeah, I don't know.
Awesome.
I was going somewhere with that, but I forgot. I'm still rattled from my opening segment. Screw up. Fucking.
Oh, you're doing great.
So we talked before the show. The first song you want to play for us is something new.
Yeah, I'm gonna just throw it out there. This is the first piece of spaghetti out the wall.
Yeah. Is it? Well, let's play the song. We'll talk about it afterwards, unless you want to set it up. Of course.
Sure. Yeah, I'll set it up a little bit. So this actually was a tune that was kind of I don't want to say like a homework assignment, but there was a producer on this website for teaching production. And so they put out there to some people like, hey, we're looking for songs for him to produce with the class, possibly for release. Send us something by July 8th or whatever. This producer in particular likes, repetitive chord progressions, probably the fewer chords, the better. Tempos between 100 and 130.
I'm going to sing, like a bird.
And it's kind of been quite, I think it was like, it's like dance music, like lounge dance or something. So it kind of was, he's a young guy and from Norway or something. So I thought I would, write a song and submit it. And I don't know if it's been picked yet, but kind of the loophole, I guess, around this, and I'm thinking I'm smart anyways. By submitting it, you're forfeiting all writers, all publishing, everything.
Whoa.
I didn't like that.
That's
at
a bold
all.
chance to take right there.
And
yeah.
so I kind of went around, and I wrote them and I said, well, if you don't use it, can I have it back? And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. We'll let you, if we don't use it in any capacity. And I'm like, well, that's kind of fine print, any capacity. Like you could play 5 seconds of it in the video and then it's yours. And so I put this song through the Creative Commons, which is kind of like a form of copyleft instead of copyright. So basically, because it could be used for financial purposes for them, I couldn't release it as a full copyleft, as in it's like there's Creative Commons, there's different levels of it, but basically anybody is welcome to take the song, play the song, change the song, do whatever they want to this song.
I'm already stealing it.
They have to give me credit, and that's it. And they have to say what they changed. But that is it. And so like I own it along with anybody else who puts it out.
I sent an email out promoting this show to a whole list of like singer-songwriters that I've accumulated over hosting open mics over the years, along with my entire list. And I really hope some of them kids are, well, a lot of them aren't kids anymore. I hope they're tuning in, because you've always been ahead of the curve on what to do as an artist on that side of the fence.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like there's a lawyer friend of mine who is trying to get me on the kind of as the front woman of Creative Commons and copyleft in the music industry probably 10 years ago. And I think I didn't fully understand it. But the cool thing is if you go full copyleft and basically you just put it out there and you say like anybody can use it, but they can't like charge for it. So it'd have to be, it couldn't be, you could still license it and still there's ways that you can still capitalize on it, but it might give you the chance of getting your music out a little bit further. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the Creative Commons it's definitely interesting and worthwhile looking into. And I'm kind of excited about it as going forward with how I copy left the material.
Yeah.
And it's free. And so, it doesn't cost like $65 a song to do.
Yeah. Wow.
So, so anyway, so this is like
I want to hear this copyleft song.
So it's not full copyleft, but it is Creative Commons, Attribution 4.0 international license.
Nice.
It's BPM 116.
I'm
G
high.
minor, C, G minor, and F.
You're giving us all the stats. That's amazing. That's so amazing.
But I'm gonna play around with my pedals here. I got my drummer in my back pocket.
You got the one woman show going on, which is something you advertise. That's awesome.
All right, here we go. It's called Talk with Your Eyes, and it's about basically it's kind of like a sexy love song in a club, maybe. In COVID times where we have to keep our masks on and keep a distance. I'm just going to stand up here, change the scenery. We don't need to say much. We don't even need to touch. I'm willing to confess my heart is open wide and honest. I'm backed into a corner. I'm wanting to surrender. But in this masquerade, may I suggest a safer way to caress? Talk with your eyes. I speak body language. I your body. Don't vocalize. Speak body language. I can hear your body. There's nothing I can hide. The moment our eyes collide, lovers at a distance as we exchange our darkest secrets. I see what you're feeling from the glances that you're stealing, and it might be taboo to read my lips, but I see through your weakness. Talk with your eyes. Speak body language. I can hear your body. Don't vocalize. Speak body language. I can hear your body. Talk with your eyes. Speak body language. I can hear your body. Don't vocalize. Speak body language. I can hear your body. Words only get in the way. Let's just leave it to imagination. There's no need for conversation anyway. Words only get in the way. Let's just leave it to imagination. There's no need for conversation anyway. Talk with your eyes. Speak body language. I can hear your body. Don't vocalize. Speak body language. I can hear your body. Talk with your eyes. Speak body language. Don't vocalize. Speak body language. I can hear your body. Do a little live fade out here. Maybe I don't know how it ends. You could write your own ending.
Me body language. I'll sing along. Awesome.
Thanks.
I'm so. I look at this. I could do all these things. People saying hi to you.
Hi,
People
Rich.
paying compliments. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, say hi, ask questions, whatever you like.
Y'all did 100 shows in 100 days, huh?
Yeah, technically it was 101 days because we did stream 8 minutes and 47 seconds of black for The Show Must Be Paused.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that was a really
Yeah.
rough show. Like we went live and streamed silence and black, and we sat in front of the computer and cried.
Yeah.
And that was really hard.
Yeah. I've been throwing this show at the wall, sort of like trying to get a few people to sign on and like, let's do this, let's do that. And I had one scheduled for, what was it? Was it Friday, I believe, or Saturday? I don't remember exactly. And we were like, let's just not do this. We can't do the show tonight. Just don't feel right. Yeah. We bailed on that show. Yeah. What do you do? It's such a strange thing, I mean, isn't that amazing? Like when 9/11 happened, 2001, it happened in the morning, and I don't know I wonder what would have happened. I suppose we all would have gone to our gigs and just talked about it, but to do it live stream I'm tangenting here. I'm like Mr.
That's okay.
Tangent, but like I went to the gig that night. It was a Tuesday night, and I had an open mic I hosted. It was night, and we all just sat there. And instead of dimming the lights and doing blah 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 and doing a show, we just kind of kept the lights up and all like played a couple songs in the round and chatted it up about what
Yeah.
happened. It was a different thing, but yeah, there was just something very insincere feeling about just going on with live streaming entertainment as usual.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it was a good thing that, that movement happened with the show must be paused and just creating awareness
Uh,
for it and that it's, I think hopefully it's to stay in conversation.
once and for all,
It's
just
kind
don't
of
you?
unreal that it's like we've gotten this far in
Yeah,
our lives and
yeah. We still having this conversation. That's it. Good luck with that song. So is it
thanks.
like it's like a contest type thing or what?
Not a contest. It's really just I kind of wrote it for the possibility for it to be used for that
Right,
purpose, and doing the Creative Commons was kind of the backdoor way to say like you can use it. I'm not giving it to you, but you can use it.
right.
As anybody can use it.
You're so
Anybody.
you're so smart, as we say here in
So
Beth, and you're
I
so
just
smart.
I don't know.
So you're a
Um,
hardworking person. You get all pretty. You get. Hey, I punched. Check out this. Ready? Oh, look at that! Wow.
oh,
Hey, I mean, you're
look at
everywhere.
that.
You're a rock star.
Two different ukulele magazine. Can you imagine there's two different ukulele magazines?
No, I think there's a bunch of them, isn't there? I saw it.
Uh,
These are the ones I picked. I think you're on a few others.
yeah, there's Cam Uke magazine in Australia too, but the fact that that they even exist is really amazing. It's like, like Banjo Times
Mm.
or hey, bass. I mean, is there a bass magazine? There's got
Yeah,
to be a bass.
there's a bass magazine.
There's got to be.
There's one.
We could just have one
There's
together,
one.
bass and ukulele, like the four-string
In the '80s, there was two.
zine.
How'd you get in the Wall Street Journal?
Oh, well, that was a really cool thing that happened. One of the writers, who is also kind of a ukulele enthusiast and plays, and he was interested. I think he had recently heard about the Mills Brothers, or had seen that I'd mouth trumpeted, because I was also on the Jay Leno show back in 2009 for the
Oh,
mouth trumpet. So this was then 7 years later, and we got an email. I had a publicist at the time, and her email, the subject was "Holy Mother of God, call me." Or that was for the Jay Leno show. And then when the Wall Street Journal thing came in, I remember waking up. It was, days of horrible habits of waking up in the middle of the night and checking my email.
yeah. But this is before social media.
Yeah. And so I remember waking up and just kind of rubbing my eyes and seeing, "Dear Ms. Vox, we're doing a piece on the unlikely return of the lost art of the mouth trumpet. And we understand you're one of the best. May we interview you?"
So that was yeah. That's one of those.
Right.
It's like you're a world class ukulele player. You perfect schooled in Berkeley, been playing it all your life. Like, hey, I heard you could make the trumpet with your face. It's one of those circumstances.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I can make the trumpet with my face. Yes, I can
But
do
it
that.
was
Yeah.
it was really cool because it's, I mean, the Jay Leno show is fun, but it was they made it look like I happened to be on the show, even though I was paid, flown out there,
Oh yeah.
limo to the studio to
What
play,
do you
50
mean?
seconds of the
Do you
final
mean
countdown.
this? Do you mean this?
Yeah. So yeah. You're really good at this, Tom.
I'm working. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm still kicking myself at the beginning of the show, but I'm working on it. I love that you did the final countdown.
They wanted a song that was recognizable, and that they're like, any song.
You could do like Beethoven. You could like dun, 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 dun. You could do it. You could have other instruments coming out of your ears. They'd be like, huh? You do final countdown? Like, yo!
But it
Oh
was,
my
yeah,
God! Did you hear that?
it was to win a meal at Benihana. And so, yeah, so I was the only one to get all the judges' approval, but it was kind of, it was kind of a silly thing, and that it was a cover song, and it was just I knew that it's a comedy show, so they're going to obviously make fun of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And with the Wall Street Journal, it's like how much more serious of a newspaper can you get? It's
Can
like,
you invest in mouth trumpets?
so apparently at the bottom, so I'm in the front page, bottom half, but they have a cultural center, a cultural section, and they have like a little bit of a fun piece, and it was the blow you the horn without a horn. But I started mouth trumpeting 15 years ago.
You're a trumpet player, though.
Yes.
So it's more than a parlor trick. Like you're nasty at it. You are, in all full disclosure for anybody who doesn't know, you're nasty at mouth trumpet. You do it really well.
I can't, obviously a real trumpet player could blow me out of the water, but I try to keep up, and I've, working kind of part-time on a Chet Baker tribute album where maybe Jack sings some of the songs or I sing them, and then I mouth trumpet all his trumpet solos.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. And it's, but it's some of the licks and the runs. I'm just like, man.
Yeah. Wow. So it's
a like vocal, aerobics and acrobatics. And
how long did you play trumpet for?
I didn't play that long. It was only probably 3 or 4 years. And I was an oboe player, and then I got through grade school, state band level, and then got to high school, and they already had an oboe player, and they had a shortage of trumpets, and so they're just like, "Would you learn the trumpet?"
Like, sure. Do I need a trumpet?
I'll join jazz band.
I don't even need the trumpet. Just show up like this.
I wasn't even doing that then, but I think it was long after college that I started mouth trumpeting.
You think doing all those licks is harder on trumpet or mouth trumpet? Like the, different intervals, quick intervals?
I would say it's probably harder vocally, but I don't,
Yeah, because you don't have buttons to help you.
Yeah, you can keep one button down and, hit several notes. And so, but then vocally you actually have to change the note.
Trumpet players are just, they take an easy way out. They're taking the easy way out, trumpet players.
Yeah. So
they got it easy.
Inside my mouth, every note has to be a different tonguing attack. And so it's exhausting.
Wow. We just insulted the entire brass industry. Or I did, at least.
Yeah, I think one on the Wall Street Journal, on the online version, there was one like actual horn player that kind of chimed in and was just like, "There's a load bowl. Like, we work so hard at our instrument, and here comes this chickadee." Yeah.
She comes in, this new person. Womp. Oh, you sound you're in great spirits. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
Yeah, thanks. You too. We're all kind of in this weird, I feel like I'm in a nonstop Twilight Zone episode. And I think the start of Major League Baseball like solidified that even further. Like when they would have shots from behind the stands where you see the back white cutouts of all these flat people in the stadium. Mm-hmm. It's like 2D world.
That's very Twilight Zone.
I'm just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
So, and I think all we can do is just try to.
Hey, your Orioles beat up on the Red Sox last week.
Did
you must be happy. Yeah. I say I know exactly what you're talking about.
Was that on a pregame? Because didn't it just start like 4 days ago?
Yeah, it's the first. I think they took 2 out of 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the O's are doing okay this year so far. This might be the best thing ever happened to them short season. We'll see.
Yeah, we watched the Angels, and it was a little.
Now you've been with Jack this whole time, obviously, right? And you guys are quarantined together. You have that.
Yeah, and it's been really good for us as a married couple, recently married couple. We've been married for a little over 4 years now, and
Ah,
we have never spent this much time together ever,
right. Yeah,
ever.
especially with touring. And is Jack full time musician? What does Jack do, if you don't mind me
Yeah, he's
asking?
a full time guitar player, singer, songwriter. He
Mm,
plays with a band called Feed the Kitty,
okay.
and
Yeah,
they
yeah. You've
play
told me this before.
basically their motto is they pay anything that they'll play anything that pays. And so whether it's the car wash opening, or a ritzy 5-star resort, or somebody's backyard block
Mm.
party, I mean, they really will do anything. And they're really good at it. And Jack can magically take command of a room. Like, it's a something to see.
So what's it like doing now? Your project is Jack and the Vox when you play as a duo. So what's it like, two people with that kind of energy on stage? Because you have that same energy. When you walk up into a stage and you start to do your thing, your communication with the audience is wonderful. The songs are wonderful. The one woman show is entrancing, because you got the beatbox going on. You have different things going on. I mean, you're a stage stealer yourself. So what's that like? Two people with that kind of energy.
Yeah, I think it's Jack is really good. I think when he started performing with me, because it kind of started out as him backing me up at
Right.
the Victoria Vox show, and he really is a phenomenal guitar player, but also can play so tastefully that he never oversteps. Or he's people love to watch him, and he just kind of sits back and you know just makes music with me, and doesn't try to overshadow me in any way.
That's a
So
skill. That's a real skill.
yeah.
It's a rare skill.
Like, stop playing when
Yeah,
I'm
I
singing.
honestly, I don't know if I really have that skill. I tried it as much as I could, but like I used to play with my wife all the time on stage, and she has another bass player now with the concert series. I got way too busy to really be in her, in with her band, and it's really kind of one of the best things that's happened to her, because I'll be full disclosure, I'm a little bit too, like, I'd be doing sound and I'd be doing this and that, and I get a little grumpy and I'm a pain in the ass. Like, I take full responsibility. My wife is a wonderful performer, but she's not like the way you describe Jack. I think of you on stage too, and I also think of myself. That's what I do. That's why I'm starting the series. Hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. And you have this rapport and this ability to work a room. And my wife has that ability too, but her stage presence is not like, I would say, even the three of us. Her stage presence is very relaxing and chill, and she lets the audience come to her,
Yeah, she's
and it's her
awesome.
own thing. But but the problem is with me right next to her going da 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 da. It wasn't a good chemistry. So
Yeah, and I think I'm probably more similar to Danielle in that way, and Jack is more like you. And so, but he had to kind of learn to be like, okay, I'm going to keep my mouth shut at this show. Or
yeah, I never
he's,
learned that. That's my
I
problem.
think, he's staying right here in the hallway. What would you say if you're probably only hearing one half of this
I don't. Are you guys talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, let's bring him in.
How
Let's bring him
dare
in.
you?
Do you want to
Sure, I want to do it on
grab
full.
some headphones?
Y'all have a song prepared, right? You can do something for us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got all dressed up and everything.
Jack, how are you, sir? Well, you didn't have headphones
Gym
there, right?
shorts.
I feel
Yeah.
good, man. How are you?
I am living the dream. We don't know each other super well. I don't even know if we've ever really even met, have we?
I was thinking that when we played at the Burn, we were there in October. Gosh,
Yeah.
it seems like so long ago, but it wasn't.
Was it just this past October?
Yeah.
And
Or
I wasn't
September,
really,
like September.
I wasn't going out too much because, I almost freaking died last year.
Yeah.
So
So you
I,
have a good excuse.
It's been
I
it's been
took
a
it pretty
whirlwind.
easy last year. It's been this whole thing this year is really interesting. Like first of all, it's COVID-19, so it's attached to 2019.
Right.
So 2019 on from many points of view, as far as I'm concerned, can really just go fuck itself. Like, I had a stroke. I had a seizure. I was intubated. I wasn't allowed to drive. I lived, so that's the other point of view. I lived, and I'm doing better than ever. But yeah, and then COVID-19 happens, and it happens in in 2020. But yeah, 2019 could really go fuck itself. Other than the fact that I lived through it. But yeah, I was not at that show. I was taking it pretty easy back then when we passed through town. I wasn't going out a lot. But we get to hang here and do this. I'm going full screen with you guys because you look
I don't know
great.
where to stand.
There
you go.
Now, that's a uke bass, correct?
Yeah, the U bass by Kala.
Have you tried one?
I haven't.
Dude.
Maybe Hutch.
Hutch.
Hutch Hutchison is I think he's got his own U bass, I believe. It's like his own. I have to Google this thing.
I know Matt. Is it Matt Hutchinson?
No, Hutch is the bass player for Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, no, I knew Freebo.
But Freebo, yeah, Hutch is currently the bass player for Bonnie. Bonnie's bass player for, but he's got, I don't know if the brand is Kala, but he's got a ukulele bass, a signature series, and I played his. It was spectacular.
Are they really cool. Thick, rubbery strings?
Jeez, I don't remember.
Because that's the cool thing about this particular instrument is these really thick, rubbery.
I think you would have a blast with it, Tom.
It's a different feel, but once you get the hang of it, it's like butter, and the frets are way closer together. So for a phony baloney like me who plays the guitar, it's a lot of fun. Because I also use a pick, by the way. Yeah,
that's cool. So yeah. Now, is actually a fretted instrument or is it fretless?
It's fretted.
It kind of sounds like a fretless, though.
Yeah, because of the
strings,
the thickness of the string. So that's cool, and you can also get like some slap type stuff out of it too.
This is slowly turning into a
bass.
A promo video, but I just looked it up. Hutch's bass is a Kala bass.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's the same.
They have different tiers as well. Good, better, best.
I was sponsored by Kala before, and that's when they sent us this bass. And so we've been getting a lot of use out of it though lately.
Yep.
So
we'll have to send a check to them too. No, I have to send a check to us. See, that's why you're better than this.
And you know, aren't you taking donations or tips? You're accepting tips on your show, Tom?
Yes, we are actually doing that. And here
why don't you put up that screen?
There you go.
Put this up for a minute or two.
So you guys can support Tom and go to paypal.me/24-hour concerts.
But this is supporting Victoria Vox. This is supporting Victoria and Jack. And yes, it's supporting us. It's supporting live music. It's supporting all of these shows. And I always do 10% of the Beth Real Special Nurses Fund too. So you know what we should do actually next time? We should put both of our Venmo and PayPal links up. And then we'll have a contest to see who makes more money.
It's like a tip war. They do that at the coffee shops. They'll be just like,
do you like Victoria better, or do you like Tom better? And all right, Jack, you can do it too. We can put all, and we'll see.
Jack would win.
We could have one for Robert Johnson as well.
Robert Johnson deserves all the money.
He never got any breaks.
No. Yeah.
But so just briefly back to kind of what we were talking about though before is I think how would you feel about, or how did you feel about performing with me, or how do you feel about Jack and the Vox? And
I love it. It's
and kind of level of stage.
Well, it's very different from what I normally do. What I normally do is I show up to a gig where people aren't really even expecting music, and we'll be setting up and they'll see the empty table next to the band and they'll move away, that sort of thing, and then I have to draw them in to the show,
which you always do, and
which I'm able to do, but that's because I'm annoying and I have a microphone. And so that's very different from a Victoria Vox experience. When I first started playing with her, it was like you could hear a pin drop in the audience. There was no sports game on anywhere.
You were sweating through your clothes.
Victoria and my wife are very similar. Two gorgeous women, and they hit the stage, and then every guy in the room was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?" Blah blah blah. And then and they size them up like asshole dudes, and then they start playing, and the whole room goes, "Oh."
Right.
But where you and I, when we hit the stage, nobody goes,
No, they move away.
Start playing, then they start sizing us up.
Exactly. So yeah, that's very different. Her audience is respectable, sober, polite.
Not all the time.
Well,
I don't know. If you're playing the Burn, that's a 50-50 shot, the sober part.
And nobody's ever asked us at a Victoria Vox show to play Brown Eyed Girl. So that's a positive
That's
as well.
Now the question is how much does it cost to actually play Brown Eyed Girl?
How much do you have?
Exactly. See, you got, yes. I tell you what, if this ever comes back to normal and Victoria goes on the road, I think you and we could have a band.
Dude, I've never thought I would see the day where I missed playing Brown Eyed Girl for a bunch of drunk cougars.
Yeah. How about the whole write it down on a 20 and we'll see if we can get to it.
That'll work.
That'll work. Yeah. We'd be like, I'm Slap. He's Stick. We're Slapstick. How you doing?
All right. Well, maybe we should play a song.
Let's do it. I would love to hear you guys. I've never heard you as a duo other than in videos. So I'd love to hear a song.
Cool.
Well, yeah, so we do perform together as Jack and the Vox, and we do have a separate repertoire as the duo, but we're going to do some Victoria Vox tunes that Jack accompanies me on.
Yeah.
And so this first one is called Sounds of Summer. So where you are and it's nice and hot and sticky, this is for you. Can you hear the summer heat?
Got it.
One.
Can you hear the summer heat? Truck is down the street. Songs are chased by running feet. A taste so sweet could never last. It's melting in the photograph. I hear the AC buzzing loud. I'm praying for some thunderclouds. Ambulances, sirens blare. Bad decisions in the air. Sounds of summer, beat up the heat, echoes off the concrete, the sounds of summer. Watching movies in the park, fireflies can light a spark. You are here and oh so near, the softest of whispers in my ear. The midnight train is rolling by, the hollow tracks and touch the sky. The rhythm is our only care, we could go anywhere. Sounds of summer, beat up the heat, echoes off the concrete, the sounds of summer. Oh, what a wonder, beat up the heat, echoes off the concrete, the sounds of summer. Can you hear the summer heat reverberating off the street? Can you feel the summer beat? It's in your heart, it's in your feet. Can you hear the summer heat reverberating off the street? Can you feel the summer beat? It's in your heart, it's in your feet. Down at the harbor, it's always a parade and band plays. Thanks, Tom. Sounds of summer, sounds of summer.
Well, we didn't work on the ending.
I love that. I was like, is that a California raisin? Oh, we can't hear you.
We can't hear your audio.
That's because I turned the thing down.
Ah,
Is that a California raisin?
That totally is a California raisin.
That like totally just like completely distracted me.
you
right
screwed her
bridge
up.
too, and right when you're like thinking about what chord is next, and said, "I'm so sorry."
It's fine.
Bad host.
You're in big
Bad
trouble,
host.
dude.
Bad host. So you guys are out there near Los Angeles.
Yeah, we're in Orange County. We're about 35 miles from LA.
Near
Proper.
the epicenter of COVID-19 breakout.
Oh,
I did a show in Orange County once in some nice little trendy coffee shop and to a full house. It wasn't my full house, but it was I used to play with Seth Haran
Oh yeah, I remember Seth.
and oh my God, what's I'm pulling a blank on his name. The fellow from Rochester, that Seth, such a great dude. I just haven't thought of him in a million years. But yeah, we did a bunch of shows out there in LA a bunch of years ago, Orange County. We were in LA a little while too. It's kind of hard not to have a celebrity sighting living out there. Do you
very true.
have you ever seen anybody that just makes you? I mean, you see a lot of peers and then you see a lot of celebrities, but have you all ever?
Yeah.
Somebody
Kobe,
where you're like,
You probably.
whoa.
all the time. Kobe Bryant used to have a place about 4 miles away in Newport Beach. I'd see him driving his Ferrari all the time.
right.
That was always fun.
Like a musician or a specific actor that's like oh my God.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy. I see him all the time at Sunset Strip.
In what situation were you in? Oh my God.
The Rainbow Room, the Rainbow Bar, the whiskey, the Viper Room. You can always find Ron Jeremy when you're on the Sunset Strip.
I probably am not up on celebrities.
We play we play a lot of 4- and 5-star hotels. So we'll do the Ritz-Carlton, we'll do the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, and that sort of thing all the time. You see celebrities, athletes, actors, musicians.
I see them. I just don't know who they are.
Right. I think that one was in this movie.
Yeah, right. That's the other thing is that you'll see somebody and you're like, I know he's an actor. I just don't know from where or who he is.
Character actors. That's my favorite. Those are the folks I want to meet because they're probably the ones like with a little bit more time on their hands and willing to share like the real fucking story.
Right.
Like those are the people I want to meet.
There's no limit of B actors and washed up rock stars in LA. And they like going outside and mingling with the people. So.
They're the real victims during COVID.
That's true.
I did probably run into more when I lived in Nashville after when I moved there after Boston and Berkeley. Right. I worked at Restoration Hardware for 9 months. And I sold a chair to Emmylou Harris.
Ooh.
And, her mother came in and saw Martina McBride and Gillian Welch and, Reba McEntire, Alan Jackson, and these people. Some of them I didn't even know it was Emmylou Harris. And my boss was like, "Go over there and help them," and I'm just like, "Why?"
That's the other thing. I got into a debate with this guy once over a baseball game and instant replay and whether or not you should have it. I thought you should. And he's like, it's ruining the game. And we kind of got into a little heated discussion. And when I was done, I walked over and my bass player, Jed Motley, said, that's Steve Lyons, right? From the Red Sox, Steve Psycho Lyons. And I went, holy it is. And then I walked back over. I was like, I didn't realize I was debating baseball with a baseball legend.
That's
basically.
Cool.
Yeah, so you get that all the time, especially when you're an ignoramus like me. Because I don't know anything. I don't know. I couldn't pick Taylor Swift out of a lineup, basically.
Yes, you could.
I don't know if I could.
Yeah, we could.
Maybe, but it'd be tough.
Yeah. Out of a lineup. What was the crime she committed? What was?
I believe it was underage drinking or something like that.
Yeah. Even though she's 27, whatever, she's still
underage.
Have you all now for the very first song you played? That was a COVID song. Yes, I mean, fairly relevant to COVID, not just a song written during COVID.
And inspired by the mask wearing.
Yeah, it's kind of, like I like you and I want to get it on with you, but we have to stay away from each other. So let's just have a body language and talk with our eyes.
Do you have any other stuff like that from the 100 shows in 100 days or?
Well, the 100 shows we did 100 originals and 100 covers, and they were basically from our repertoire of songs that we had previously written and released. Some not released, but they were all mostly. I think we wrote like one or two new that time period, but it was really just kind of like putting our music out there. So we're going to go forward in August where we write a song every week and perform that song. So there will definitely be more
Best Medicine shows.
Yes.
Cool.
We called it the Best Medicine Show because we didn't know what else to call it. And it eventually became people's medicine. People were writing us all the time. Thank you so much. You're getting me through some really tough stuff right now.
I think it equally helped us get through. Especially this
Absolutely. I went into a deep kind of depression after I went from 26 shows a month to 0 in the snap of a finger. And reality set in about third day in, and I was like, what am I going to do? And that's when we came up with the idea for a daily show, 2 songs a day. I thought, that'll be easy. And it was all consuming time, creativity, lighting, things, makeup. You don't think about that stuff when you're saying, we could do that.
At least distracting in these times.
That is the key. And that and the booze really helped.
Only one of our shows of the 100 was an actual drinking show where we actually were doing shots while we were
smashed.
We did too. We got so smashed we couldn't figure out how to upload the video afterwards. That was when we were doing them to tape because of some.
We had kind of three sections of our 100 shows. The first 40 episodes were live on Facebook from using our desktop camera, and then Facebook stopped working for us at some point because of they like updated. They're forcing you to use this producer thing, and it wasn't working with our audio.
They updated and they changed everything.
So then we got this like camera through the phone, but then the phone would disconnect, and then we got this other webcam. But then we basically were like, okay, do we go live and have a bunch of issues, or do we go live to tape?
Just record it.
Still has a live feel, and I don't think some people even noticed. But the quality was much better because the video was, we were using the good side of the camera, phone, and
but the feel of the performance was suffered.
The edge wasn't there.
We would end a show and it'd be like, all right, well, let's upload that. I guess
where's
that
the off
work,
button?
Yeah.
It's so hard to do anyway. Like to do it in this format. It really is. We've all said this a million times now. At least singer songwriters and folks. But you're taking what you've been doing for years. You've developed this way to approach a stage and a microphone and what a room sounds like and what a PA sounds like, and you've been through dozens, hundreds of scenarios. And now you're doing this thing that is just nothing like any of that.
No audience feedback.
And you haven't done it a million times, so you don't know what the tech problem is going to be. I mean, geez, we've had a couple even just today. I went live and I forgot, I don't have the system in place yet. Like even my music series that I do, even as a concert, from this side of the fence, I have an engineer and how people come in the door and how you sell tickets, and you have the system. And it, like when I first started doing that 5-6 years ago, it was, I built from scratch, and 5 years later, it's this thing. And now I'm starting this thing from scratch. Trying to figure out how it is what it is. And meanwhile, it's during a time where it's like, who the fuck gives about, everybody cares live music, but there's people fucking dying. It's like, it's like, it's as surreal as it possibly could be to figure out how to do this,
Yeah.
But like usual, you're on the cutting edge of it. You're crushing. I'm really looking forward. We're getting up to an hour, so we should probably have another song and wrap this thing up. But like,
Okay.
I was really looking forward to this thing because
Yeah,
like
thank you.
you are Victoria, like in Jack, you're spot on. We're just getting to know each other, but it's like, yeah, you got shit down, and like, you know, you really just been ahead of the curve on all things. Like, you know, when Victoria Vox comes to town, when she leaves town, I am inspired because it's like, oh yeah, maybe with a little more focus, I could be that good at what I do. You know, I swear to God, like you're one of those persons like, oh fuck, I got to step up my game. You know, you know,
I feel like that every day. I'm like, oh man.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's the key to this success. If there's a bunch of folks watching us still, there's definitely
Hey,
folks
everybody.
watching us. I got the thing. Woo,
Hey now.
you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I'll do this again because I should post this, and I finally learned how to make it so that like people can hear me as that backdrop is up. Matt says, "Great to hear that." There's all kinds of comments here. I love it. Yeah, I don't know what's. Yeah, I gotta find. People are saying hi to you. Michael Brand says, "Hey, Jack."
What's up?
Yeah. Oh, I love this thing. This is great. But yeah, if you can donate to the cause, and we'll spread the money around, and it'll be great because this is what we do for a living. This particular show, we're all full-time artists, so we're trying to figure out this new thing and trying to make a living, and we can't wait to be back there and playing out in the world with y'all. And be safe and put the damn mask on, folks, so we can get back to work.
Please.
You know, are you guys pro mask? Yeah, you are, right? I mean,
I just like it because I know it pisses some people off.
I'm pro mask.
She's pro mask too.
Yeah.
She gets side-eyed when she walks in the store with that on.
One of the first time I went food shopping during COVID, where you just had to get food or die.
Right.
It was cold, and I ride a motorcycle, and I had my winter face mask, and I wore it into the store, and my wife has got her proper face mask on. It's like, and I wasn't trying to be like a shithead anti-masker, but like I'm wearing this face mask, being like, oh, I'm covered, and it's like it's a motorcycle face mask. It doesn't have any like there's a hole.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, I'm wearing a mask with a hole right where my nose and mouth are, and Daniel's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm being a good citizen and wearing my mask." Like, you're an idiot.
Hey, this is all a learning curve. You know.
Hey, well,
and I do feel that sometimes, like if I see someone without a mask on, sometimes they're like, oh, like they just forgot. Like it's nothing in our normal realm of the way we've lived our lives ever.
There's nothing normal about this.
You know, it's.
I don't want to be that person who's like, put your mask on, or what are you doing, or what's wrong with you? Like, I don't want to be that, like, but I also am a loudmouth, and I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut. So recently, like in the supermarket, it's not like I go looking for people, but like when someone gets closer to me than they should anyway, let alone without, the nose hanging out of your freaking mask, looking like a moron. I did it like on impulse, and I've done it every time since. Someone came up real close behind me to reach over to grab something, and I just looked and I went, "Hi," like and they went, "Hi," and I literally said, I looked them right in the eye. I said, "I can tell you exactly what it's like to be on a ventilator."
Right.
Because I can.
Right.
I was.
We back up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you could say, "What's wrong with your mask?" Well, blah blah blah, and they're gonna have an answer. Everybody's gonna have an answer, but nobody has had an answer. I've done it to about a half a dozen people at this point, and they just go,
"Yeah,"
and they don't say, "Please don't" or "Please do," and then I start to describe what it's like to be on a vent. Well, obviously, I don't know what it's like to be on a ventilator, but I know what it's like to immediately come off of a ventilator. And it's like, I won't share it here. They're frightening details.
Oh gosh, I bet.
And as gross as they are, frightening. And that every single time has done the trick. One fella like literally went, "Sorry, man. Yeah, no, yeah. and most people just like, yeah, no, okay. And one woman just ran screaming. She's like, I can't hear. Either way, it worked. Like, it's like it give you something to think about, because it's like you don't want to be on a fucking ventilator. Trust me.
I have developed the fine art of silently judging people.
So much.
I find that works for my black heart.
ENFPs.
Yeah, right.
We are no longer ENFPs.
What is that?
Oh, the Myers-Briggs personality type indicator. Google it. Myers-Briggs test. It's a way to differentiate people's personalities. It's used by the military and corporations to better deal with their employees and soldiers and so forth.
Sounds like another test I would fail.
Well, if you could fail any test, that wouldn't be one of them, but maybe you could figure out a way.
Definitely become introverted, I would say.
Over the years, yeah, a little more introverted.
Just in the past few months.
That too.
Let's do another song.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having us on here.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on here. Appreciate it.
And I didn't realize last week was your first video, so I just happened to, I saw you on Twitter and I'm like, hey, Tom's live. And
this is what I hope stays a series, even post-COVID. I think
cool.
I'd love to just record these and put them out as a podcast. I hope folks enjoy this kind of thing. I love musicians and I love artists and I love the people I've met along the way. And, back in the day, like you mentioned, we'd have so many people on the couch and so many people at the gigs and the Lizard Lounge. Oh, by the way, if you want an audience for this next song, I brought them in for you.
All right. Yeah. Oh, well, there they are now.
Look at there.
They're not socially distancing.
Melanie Jane. Oh my gosh.
You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was late night after the open mic contest, right?
Uh-huh.
And we drove, it was like the other side, we drove to the other side of town.
Boston. Proper Boston.
Yeah, I do remember that.
JJ Foley's.
Yes.
Which is a famous bar. That's Melanie Jane. You were traveling with her, correct?
Yeah, she was playing cello.
In the Boston crew, you have Danielle and I, of course, in the middle there. You have Tim Reardon. You have Greg Klima. You remember? Oh no, wait, is that Greg Klima or Louis Ledford? That's Louis Ledford.
I think that's Louis. Yeah, that's Louis.
That's Louis Ledford. I don't know who the woman right in front is. I bet she's a bar patron. I bet she's someone who's just hanging out in the bar.
No, she looks pretty cute.
She looks like a lady of the night.
Yeah, she's just like she's like, I gotta get in this picture, man. And who's the fellow on the right? Is his name James?
That's James Moore.
James Moore. Yeah, he's like from Midwest, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I think he's in Wisconsin.
No.
Yeah.
Front and center are Victoria Vox, elbow to elbow with the legendary Steve Morris, Boston Globe music writer for 32 years. He had his retirement party at JJ Foley's, and this sounds like bullshit, but like Bono showed up and with a huge
ego.
book.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, with a huge ego. Well, Steve Morris, Jack, I don't know if you know this, it's definitely Boston lore, but Steve Morris is the guy who broke U2.
Okay.
And by breaking U2, he also broke his career. Like Steve Morris was the guy who just raved about U2 when they first came to the United States. And he, right after that, it just became the music. He's one of the most revered music writers in the country. Steve Morris is fucking king, but he's a Boston guy. He lives right across the street from Toad and he hangs out all the time. And he happened to be the judge that night for the open mic challenge. And he's like, come on to JJ Foley's, everybody. I'm buying. And this is now the open mic would go to 1 a.m. And Boston is a very strict, blue law town. Like everything is closing now. And, and we get to JJ Foley's and he's talking on the stoop and we're like, Steve, it's like 5, we got to go in. The bar's going to close. He's like, Tom, it's only 5 minutes to 2. We're fine. Like 5 minutes to 2 in Boston, they're violently kicking you out of bars. And he just like, it's like, he's king. He just walks in to keep the doors open until 5 a.m. if they want or whatever. But that was a great night.
Nice.
This was one of the nights. This was a good one.
Back in the day.
How come you look the same, but I look like this? I look like this, and you look the same. It's like that picture was like last week for you, and it was
Plastic
like
surgery.
who's that?
Plastic surgery. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Expensive face cream.
That too.
Ah, well, whatever
Yeah,
it is,
that's
it's working. Don't stop doing it.
I think it's music. Music does it for me.
There's something true about that. Keeps you young.
Yeah,
Listen,
absolutely.
Spirit.
You're
Well, let's
absolutely right.
Let's play a song and take a few minutes off our life,
All right.
or
Let's
put
do
them
it.
on or something.
Thank
So
you so
this-
much.
So this tune is called "You're No Island," and it's especially in these times of people having to isolate and be alone. It's kind of a good reminder that we're not alone and that we're there for each other. So ask help when you need it. Well,
You're no island. You're no island. You're no island. Don't gotta go it alone when the water's rising. I got a boat and some rope, and I can take you home. You're no island. You're no island. You like to keep me at bay when I come calling. Honey, don't be afraid. Just take a leap of faith. You're no island. You're no island when there's no stars and you're lonely, 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 and the fog hugs the ground. I'll wrap my arms around you. You've been drifting too long out on the horizon. Come back where you belong, and we can carry on. You're no island. You're no island when there's no stars and you're lonely, 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 and the fog hugs the ground. I'll wrap my arms around you. You're no island. I'll wrap my arms around you. You're no island. I'll come and get you when the water's rising. You're no island. I'll wrap my arms around you. You're no island.
You're no island.
Clap, 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 clap.
Give us the clap. Thank you.
What's next, Victoria Vox? What's on the burner?
Well, there's always a few things on the
But
burner.
In full disclosure, you did say you're taking a little bit of time off just to, you would tell me when I got distracted on our opening, you were telling me about the gardening and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, I changed every doorknob in our
Yeah.
unit. And,
Hey, doorknobs got to be changed
yeah.
sometimes, you know?
Hey, you friggin' doorknob.
yeah, they were probably the original doorknobs, and they were actually pretty funky. So that was a nice, little upgrade. But yeah, I've been cooking and gardening and a little bit of reading and
Sprucing up the place
Yeah.
and relaxing. And we're actually watching some television type things.
we're on almost at the end of season 3 of Breaking Bad, which I've never seen before.
Oh, my wife has seen that a million times over and I haven't. And I said, I guess it's time for me to watch it. And she said, I would watch it again with you.
This is my fourth time through all 5 seasons.
I can only handle so much of it because it's pretty intense. And sometimes it's like the level of stupidity is beyond belief. And I'm just like, oh my God, these guys are idiots.
I used to think the show was a little over the top until the last 4 years. And I'm like, well, anything's possible at this point.
Yeah.
Any amount of
Yeah.
low IQ-ery.
Yeah.
And the other day we watched, what was it, the World War II in color?
Yeah. I'm getting her caught up on some historical facts and stuff. So.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's now Danielle and I have been married. You know what, man? I don't even know how many years, but not even that long. It's
now you're in big trouble.
Not much longer than 4. I think it's like 7 or 8. Hey, I had a stroke. I can fucking pull that card. I could pull that card for the rest of my life. I don't fucking remember. I had a stroke. What do you want? But this COVID, sitting on the couch and watching TV and spending this much time together, the only thing comparable as far as our relationship goes is when we first got married. That first stretch where you're sure, you've been dating for a long time, but you get married and you come home and you sit down and you're like, it's the same. Nothing has really changed other than the event we just had a part of, but there's a different feeling to it. You're in this together. Now we're really in this together, and then all of a sudden we go through this where you're isolated from the world, but it's just you're in it together, and that's the only thing that is really comparable to that feeling of being in the relationship. As opposed to every other time period when you're in the relationship,
right.
It's a different thing. You're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, we're thankful. I'm thankful.
I'm thankful. I have to say that we're on live. No,
it's like that time Jay Leno asked me if I was a Packers fan.
My wife chimed in. Here we go. 9 years in December.
There you
Thanks,
go.
babe. Thanks, babe.
You're in big trouble.
You're off there, Tom.
As long as I remember the date, and it's the same with her birthday. She doesn't care if I don't remember how old she is. As long as I remember the date. As long as I don't forget the birthday.
Well, I also have a good excuse because we got married on April 1st.
Yeah.
So if I ever forget our anniversary, I'll just be like, gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
So
yeah.
I covered my butt there.
Yeah. But so on our back burner, though, we're going to be coming back, Jack in the Vox, doing our live shows probably once a week. I think we're doing it Sunday evenings at 5, and we'll do a song that we wrote that week. We'll probably kick it off with the Talk with Your Eyes one, and then go forward from
Start
there.
the whole process of getting into the groove of writing and
every week. And
we had an Excel spreadsheet for these 100 shows that we did. I mean, we were trying to do everything we could to stay on top of it. And that way we could look ahead and say, okay, well, this person's birthday is on that day. They wanted this song.
Yeah.
Plug them in, and then you kind of have an itinerary of the songs you need to learn for the week or next week, depending on how hard the song is.
Yeah. I've had the time of my life from Dirty Dancing for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, we just watched it.
Oh,
We've never had cable before. We just didn't give a damn. And now maybe you can relate. We just, like I said, we just moved into this apartment. And the one thing I did spend money on, not that I have money to spend, was like the very best internet service I possibly could. The fastest fucking, like how, upload speed. And they're like, we are giving you download speed so you can watch movies. I was like, I need upload speed. I don't give a shit about download speed. I need to upload speed. But it's like at that tier, like all the movie channels come with it and shit. So it's like all of a sudden we're sitting on the couch. And we watched Dirty Dancing. I think we've seen like 3 Patrick Swayze movies. It's Patrick Swayze, man.
It takes a big man to admit that.
Oh, we watched Youngblood, which is Rob Lowe and Patrick Swayze.
God.
I mean, and then what was it? I don't remember. I don't know. It wasn't The Outsiders. We weren't that cool that night.
And I just see you have a link up for jumping on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Page. Yeah. So we'll be posting all the new songs there. People can download songs from the Patreon. And that if you don't know what Patreon is, it's a platform where listeners and music fans can support the artists that they enjoy, and you can sign up as it's like a subscription. And so you can
so there's like a monthly
support.
Donation. There are different tiers,
and it can be as little as $1 a month.
Yeah.
And
for what it's worth, if you're on the fence about Patreon and Victoria Vox, I have a Patreon page and there's nothing on it. Like I've done absolutely nothing because that's like my personality. I'm a mess. But Victoria Vox, she has a Patreon page and she got this and that and songs. It's categorized hashtags. There's all kinds of different things you can look at. It's every time you've ever gone on the Facebook and gone down the bad rabbit hole. Well, if you were a Patreon member of Victoria Vox, that's a good rabbit hole. That's a fun place to be because you leave there, you get so much, and you leave there inspired. And you can donate any amount. I think everybody's got it set up different. But you can do lower tiers, higher tiers, and so you don't have to commit to a lot of money. You can commit to short money. You can commit to bigger money.
The
plan for every budget.
The minimum is $1 a month, and I used to have my maximum was 20. But more recently, I had some people suggest they're like, we want to support you more, especially during this time. Can you offer, Skype lessons or so I do anything? Well, just it's like 20 minutes or 40 minutes on 1-to-1 on the computer, and that today I did one for one of my patrons, and it was we chatted and. Talked for a little bit, and then it turned into a ukulele lesson. And so it could be I'm doing lessons on Pro Tools or songwriting or whatever, and so or you just hang out and have a cup of coffee or a drink, and it's pretty cool.
Jack, it's amazing to meet you. I knew you would be a crushing human being, and as I expect, Victoria Vox, you could dominate this new world and any new world that's thrown your way. You're the best. It's so nice to talk to you and find y'all as a couple. I only know Victoria from passing through town and playing tunes and playing stages. And Jack, man, I can't wait till we can all travel again. And if you come to Boston again. Yeah, we're going to start that band, Slap and Stick.
I'll be Stick.
I'll be Slap or Stick.
I'll be Stick.
I can be Slap.
All right.
Can I spell it with an CH? Slap?
Yeah, Slap and Stick. The Norwegian comedy duo.
I love it. It's been a real treat to hang with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. And thank everybody for tuning in.
Yeah,
I see everybody there. You guys are awesome. We can't wait to be back online and hanging out and playing more music and making more people laugh.
Thank you. Anybody who donated to the show, thank you so much. And thank you for supporting this brand new effort. And why don't you guys stay on camera just for a second? I'll take us off the camera, and I'm gonna play some outro music, and we'll just wrap it up real quick and say a good night and use all the expletives we've been holding back for the last hour and a half.
And now I can drink, right? I can drink now.
Yeah.
Now
All right, I'm gonna have a drink.
Now we can drink. Now we can drink. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the show and all that fun stuff. We'll be back next week. This is a brand new thing. I don't have proper guests lined up yet, but we're working on it. I actually have a few lined up, but nobody for next week. But I'll figure it out. I hope to see you next week, and stick around. And thank you for supporting live music, ladies and gentlemen. This is Live Stream of Consciousness. My name is Tom Bianchi, and I will see you later.
Turn into the light where the dark turns bright. With a little love, you will shine.